And welcome back. Now, Zukiswa Rantho, the chairperson of Parliament's Public Enterprises Committee, condemns the leaking of the Eskom report, which apparently implicates former public enterprises ministers Lynne Brown and Minister Malusi Gigaba. Now, in November of 2017, South Africans were glued to their screens as the committee sometimes worked late into the night, going through documents and also questioning witnesses. And the committee was expected to recommend prosecution and also forward relevant details to the national prosecuting authorities. Zukiswa Rantho, the chairperson of Parliament's Public Enterprises Committee, joins us now from our SABC Studios in Sea Point, Cape Town. Ms. Rantho, thanks so much for speaking to us and welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your listeners and the viewers.
Ms. Rantho, let's start here. Of course, the leaking of this report has raised several concerns, especially given that those implicated in it have not seen this report as yet. But what's your immediate reaction to the leak?
I'm very much disappointed about the leak of this report, because I thought we are going to keep it to us until the time comes when we discuss it and finish it and send it to those implicated in the report.
So this has not happened. So what does it mean for the legitimacy of the report itself?
It has actually messed up with us as a committee, because we will be challenged at any time about the report and the leakage of the report. We will sit down tomorrow and discuss how do we take this forward.
Have you done any preliminary investigation as to exactly how this report could have leaked?
No, we did not do any preliminary investigations, because we need to sit down first and talk to each other and see how do we go about with the investigation, if we have to do any investigation.
Ms. Rantho, how many people had access to this preliminary report?
All members of the committee have access to the preliminary report. The staff members of our committee has got the report with them. The legal team that we work with, they also have the preliminary report in their hands.
So how do you respond then to what, for example, Minister Gigaba is saying, that this is now being used to basically assassinate characters of those who would be implicated in this report without going through all the requisite procedures?
That is exactly my worry, because everybody who is implicated in the report and who has received the report illegally or the wrong way will challenge the report now.
So what does that mean for you as the committee and the legitimacy of this particular report? I mean, do you agree that it is still legitimate at this stage, and will it change?
The report that we have in our hands is illegitimate. What has gone out there, I am not sure if it's exactly what the document that we have, but we will see when we get to Parliament on Wednesday.
What does this say, Ms. Rantho, about the integrity of the members of your committee?
I had trust in the members of my committee. I don't want to assume it's them that have leaked the report. But as we are going to discuss, I think that will come out of the report who exactly has done this.
So as things stand right now, from the preliminary report, do you believe that much will change to the final report that will finally be issued?
I don't think there is much that will change. We will take the same report forward, what we have in our hands, because the content of the report is exactly what happened during the inquiry.
So pretty much what is out in the public domain will remain.
Yes, in the public domain, it will remain the same report.
Which is very interesting. But I want to come to other matters related to Eskom as well. The independent power producers, for example, and we had Minister Jeff Radebe refusing to make known the ownership of some of these companies. What is the committee's take on that?
Okay. I do hear him speaking to me. I hear that he's speaking about Jeff Radebe, but I was disturbed now by you. Okay.
Okay, Ms. Rantho, let me just come back to you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
I was asking about Minister Radebe and the fact that he was asked to actually reveal the identity of the owners of some of these IPPs that received those contracts from Eskom. What is the committee's view on the total ownership of those IPPs not being known to the public?
Yes, I think it is correct that the IPP's owners must be known by the public. We will look at what Minister Radebe has put on the table and discuss on it. I think we will be in the same committee meeting in few weeks to come. The Energy Committee, we will speak with them. We will then discuss how do we take this forward.
So the fact that the minister has hitherto refused to divulge that information, is that of concern to the committee at all?
No, it never came to the committee.
It may not have come to you formally, but it is again something that is out in the public domain. And as such, are you concerned about that?
Yes, I know it is in the public domain, but as a committee of public enterprises, we have never discussed it. It has been discussed in the energy portfolio.
So you're going to wait for it to come to your table?
Yes, we will wait for it to come to our table and then we'll discuss it.
And with regard to the cost of generating electricity, the cost at which Eskom is actually procuring energy from the independent power producers and what they are selling it at to the public, are you any clearer on that? Have you looked at Eskom's interim report?
Not yet. We haven't looked at it. We are going to look at it. We are expecting Eskom in a few days to come.
So at the moment, you don't know in terms of how much they're procuring at, how much they're selling at, and of course, how this is impacting on the consumer, number one, and also on the broader public.
Yes, we don't have that information yet, but we are looking forward to get it from them, and then we'll interact with it.
And with regard to that loan from China that Eskom has taken, I mean, Eskom's debt at the moment is bigger than the entire budget of the Department of Health. Surely that is not a healthy situation. Again, the details of that loan are not known. What is the Portfolio Committee's position on that?
The loan that Eskom has, we as a committee, we don't have information about it. We expect Eskom to come clear with us and discuss it through in the next committee meeting.
But Ms. Rantho, you know, it seems as though your job is to exercise oversight over companies like Eskom, and you this morning at least have indicated that you are waiting for this to come to you. The loan to Eskom has been on the books for quite some time now. I mean, the fact that the details of that loan haven't been divulged surely should have been concerned to the Portfolio Committee. Why haven't you asked for those details?
Yes, it is a concern to the portfolio committee, but we were giving Eskom enough time to deal with that, with whatever that they have in their hands. Remember, Eskom has a new board and a new executive. So we were giving them enough time to deal with everything that is in front of them, because some of them are new in the issues of Eskom.
But surely you asking for details, for clarity, does not necessarily interfere with their job.
Yes, we are expecting them to do their job as much as possible, but also we do not want to push them too much, because we know that they are still new at Eskom and there is a lot that needs to be done, and they have done already a lot in the utility.
Now, to that point, given everything that's gone wrong at Eskom, given the process that your committee has just undertaken, sat through and compiled this report on, surely that is reason enough for you to actually keep your foot on the pedal as the portfolio committee to make sure that we don't repeat the mistakes that got Eskom into the mess that it finds itself in right now.
That is why we took a decision as a committee that Eskom must come and report in the committee quarterly. Whatever they have done in 3 months, in a year, they must come and report it in the committee. We are expecting them to do that.
Ms. Rantho, we thank you for your time this morning. Thanks so much for coming through. And that was, of course, Ms. Zukiswa Rantho, a portfolio committee chairperson on the Committee on Public Enterprises. And what comes out of that is obviously that the committee, the portfolio committee, like the rest of us, are not clear on the details of the loan that Eskom received from China, and also about the details, at least the identity of the owners of those independent power producers who received contracts from Eskom. So I suppose we wait until that that information does in fact become public knowledge. Let's take a quick break before the news.